Hi, my name is Phil. I don't know who she is, but she's bright. She's light skinned, so she's like a light, right? In our series of Damas intros, my name is Phil. I'm a visual effects artist. I worked on Mpakani season 1 as a visual effects supervisor. And continuing with our series of overviews, I like to talk about lights in the scene. Every now and then, there's a pesky light or even a boom mic that will rear its ugly head inside a shot. We had many of them. I don't know how many, but there were many of them. We even coined a name for them. We called them ghost lights because they were giving us problems. I'm not a father, I can't exorcise them. I wish we had some holy water when we were doing the visual effects. We just sprinkle a bit into the shot, and then just the lights disappear. But anyway, we're going to have an overview of what we did to remove those lights. And even, I think there was a time there was a boom mic in the shot. So yeah, it's quite simple, but it can actually give you headaches if you don't know what to do. So let's jump into our edit suite and see what we did for those shots. So in production, there's this problem of pesky lights and boom mics showing up into the shot. For example, as you can see up here, this is a production light. This is not just a random light happening. This is a production light, and this is a scene from Mpakani episode 10, the very last scene. And there is no reason, any logical reason, to have a light in the bush. There were only I think 2 vehicles in the scene, and these guys were actually running away. So there were no other buildings in the vicinity, so there's no reason why this light should be here. So you're going to encounter these problems a lot in production, and you'll have to clean those items out. So we encountered this problem a lot in episode 10 because it was shot during the night. So I'll show you 2 methods of how to deal with this. So I'll show you this is method 1. So I didn't want to go into so many technical stuff. I just saw this as a straightforward shot, and I like, instead of me finding other ways of doing it, let me just copy textures from this plate and then come and paste it over here, and then let the camera movement do its work. So what I did, first thing I did, I looked for a place where I can track. So I tracked this side mirror of this vehicle. I just did a 2D track because the camera is not moving in 3D space. This is just a straightforward 2D track. So I tracked this side mirror of the vehicle. Then I created a null. That is the null that was created. Then I duplicated this footage, this very footage. Then I found a place, as you can see here, I found a texture that can come and be placed on top of that light. So I came and picked a texture around here. I just took the footage and moved it to this region. So around this dark region over here, moved it to this part, and then I took the footage and parented it to the null that I had created. So now if you play, you'll find now the footage is going in sync with that null, and it has hidden that light. So you can't tell there was a light over here. So that's one method of doing it. Then I'll show you the second method. So for this scene, this is Maimuna's house, and Farah had gone there to mourn her death. Let me show you what was in the scene. You see this is a production light. it's not supposed to be here. It's not even supposed to be seen. If it were a street light, maybe we would have left it there, but this is a production light with all the gadgets and gizmos still attached to it. So I created an adjustment layer, and then I used a Red Giant's spot clone tracker. This is one of the best clone trackers in the industry. It surpasses the After Effects content aware feel by leaps and bounds. This one will save you a lot of work. So I took it. Let me just activate the then these are the clone operations that I used. So let me just deactivate. So I told the system, take this texture and clone it over this rod over here, and then give it a feather. Then I let the system do its own tracking, because there's this green light over here. There's a bit of information, so the system could track by itself. I did not need to move the tracker frame by frame, so the system did the tracking by itself. Then after it was done, it just copied this texture back to this point. Then now we had to deal now with the texture above, which is now the light. You see the light over here. So for this part, I had to create, because we have a bit of branches coming into the scene, I had to copy some branches also from a different scene, a different section of the footage. So I took this region over here, because the light is actually seeping through, and you can see there's also some light information on these branches. So there's a bit of, you see, there's light information. So just taking a dark region and placing it on top of here, it will stand out as like a sore thumb. So I had to take a branch section which has had a bit of light information, because this light over here was spilling light on this entire region. And even see on this wall, this is the light generated from this light. So after tracking, because it's actually light, the tracker also did its own thing, and then boom, we replaced the light. Then one thing I can also tell you, also look at the type of footage you are telling your tracker to work with. For example, I used linear for me to give me the results that I wanted. You can change, you can use a log or video depending on the footage that you have and the results that you want. So that is one way of dealing with the lights that are actually in the scene, that are actually causing problems. So as you can see, there is no more lights fixtures on this scene. So that's one way of dealing with lights. And if worse comes to worse, you have to paint the entire scene maybe in Photoshop and then come back and track it, and yeah, you will have dealt with the light problem. So that's how we deal with ghost lights in the scene, and boom mics, and sometimes even camera men might, let's say like camera A is shooting, and then somehow the operator of camera B comes into the shot. You'll have to remove him. We did that in Mission to Rescue. We had to remove camera guy in Mission to Rescue. He was visible in a shot. So yeah, that's what we did for the lights. See you in the next one. Thanks. So that's pretty much the end of our overview. If you're interested in visual effects, and especially some of the things that are being done, as we've talked today about removing lights, boom mics, it can even be people, crew mostly, vehicles, items mostly which belong to the crew, You can try it yourself. There are very many tutorials online, and there are very many methods of how to remove such things with very different softwares. So you need to actually grasp some of these softwares. Primarily we used After Effects in Mpakani, but there are very many other softwares. For example, there's Nuke, there's Fusion, even Blender nowadays. I think you can do a bit of removing stuff. So just be curious, go online, learn some of these things. What I'm just giving is an overview. I'm not going into in-depth tutorials, because if I decide to go in-depth, then I won't do anything else. I'll just have to transition and be a tutor online. So if you know anyone, especially students in colleges, universities, please share these videos with them. I'm sure most of them are curious and might be looking for extra knowledge or oversight of what is happening in the industry. We are a pretty young industry, visual effects wise, by the way. We rarely have visual effects heavy movies or TV shows. So Mpakani was actually one of those shows that actually set the bar. We're waiting to see if the other shows which will come through and surpass that. And once you've done your practices, by the way, please share them. You can tag Foxton Media. We will follow you back. We'll check out your work. If you want extra advice, you can just inbox us. We will try our best to get back to you. We're not like pros, like super experts. We're also trying. We hope one day we will have an ILM or a WETA or a digital domain in Kenya. So yeah, see you in the next one, and goodbye.